The man shot by Grapevine police back in February after a chase into Euless had a blood alcohol level nearly twice the legal limit to drive. That information, according to the autopsy released for Ruben Garcia Villapando. The attorney representing Garcia Villapando's family says it doesn't matter whether he was a little drunk or a lot, he was still unarmed and shot and killed. Attorney Domingo Garcia filed a legal action today of his own to try and force Grapevine police to release the dash cam video of the incident. Fox 4's Sean Rabb in our Dallas newsroom with all of this story today. Sean.
Right, the autopsy made public the same day that the attorney representing the family files this lawsuit against Officer Robert Clark and his department, the Grapevine Police Department. The suit seeks authority to depose or question the officer and to force Grapevine police to release that videotape. The attorney says he feels it was more than coincidence that the autopsy was released the same day he filed his lawsuit.
What I see is an attempt to smear the name of a victim instead of releasing and holding to justice the individual who committed this crime.
2 months after the shooting of unarmed Ruben Garcia Villapando by Grapevine police officer Robert Clark, the Tarrant County medical examiners released the autopsy. It shows 4 blood and fluid samples from different areas in Garcia Villapando's body to determine his blood alcohol content. Blood taken from an artery in the leg during autopsy has alcohol at 0.098. Garcia Villapando's urine had the highest alcohol reading at 0.183, and vitreous, or fluid in the eye, tested at 0.128. Blood taken at the hospital hours after the shooting shows an alcohol content of 0.141. Attorney Garcia focusing on the blood alcohol content at autopsy from the femoral artery in the leg, 0.098.
0.08 is the legal intoxication. So it's real right on the border. He's intoxicated maybe, not, falling down drunk.
So that was going to be a very good ethanol reading to describe how the level of alcohol in his system as he as he arrived in the hospital.
We took the autopsy report to forensic pathologist Amy Grusecki, not involved in this case, for her to interpret. Grusecki says the most accurate number is the hospital blood, which was taken the night of the shooting, and not hours later during an autopsy.
The hospital blood at 8:45 was 0.141, which is, again, compared to the Texas legal limit of 0.08 grams per deciliter, was almost twice as high.
It doesn't really matter what his level, if he was intoxicated or if he was not, or just barely intoxicated. The fact of the matter is, a police officer doesn't have a right to shoot somebody for DWI and to not have an arrest and a jury trial on that issue.
Garcia Villapando was an illegal immigrant who'd been arrested 9 weeks earlier in Louisville on a DWI. The arrest affidavit from December 12th says he was going 78 and a 60, and his blood alcohol level was nearly 3 times the legal limit. He was shot on February 20th, police say, because he kept advancing on Officer Clark. Address the argument that he wasn't obeying commands because he was intoxicated.
And you see that all the time when people are intoxicated. They're a little bit slow. They have to grasp, but that doesn't give the right the officer to shoot him.
There is another issue in this case. A motorist's cell phone video of the incident came to us hours after the shooting. It appears to show Garcia Villapando left of your screen with hands up and the officer's screen right with weapon drawn. The driver did not capture the fatal climax to the confrontation. And while the officer's dash cam video does not capture it either, we've been told,
it's time for the District Attorney of Tarrant County to release this videotape.
Attorney Garcia's filed a lawsuit seeking to force the Grapevine Police Department to release the video.
There is no legal justification. There is no statute that prohibits that videotape being released.
I think the District Attorney's Office will claim that there is a pending investigation because it hadn't gone to the grand jury yet.
Former prosecutor, now in private practice, Toby Shook, says he sees the District Attorney arguing until the grand jury makes a decision, it is still an open investigation.
So I think the DA's office will be on firm ground stating that exception to the Open Records Act.
He's dead. He can't defend himself, and yet they're not releasing the videotape of this police officer shooting an unarmed man with his hands in the air.
All right, now there are a couple of nuggets from the autopsy, Steve. Ruben Garcia Villapando was a big man, 6'2", almost 240 pounds. And the Tarrant County ME could not determine the distance between Officer Clark and Garcia Villapando, because the clothes he was wearing did not travel from the hospital to the morgue. Those clothes would have had soot or what's called stripling on it, and that based on that pattern, the ME perhaps could have determined the distance between the shooter and the suspect. We do know from what Grapevine Police told us it was a distance greater than 1 or 2 feet.
All right, Sean, I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Mr. Garcia contends that this blood alcohol level was released because of the lawsuit he filed. Let me take it another way. Tarrant County DA has asked Grapevine not to release the video because its investigation is ongoing. So why did it allow the blood alcohol level to be released? That would be a part of their investigation. And if I'm playing devil's advocate, the blood alcohol level makes the suspect who was shot look bad. The video, we don't know who it might make look bad, but you see where I'm going with this? I can see how maybe Mr. Garcia would complain about this.
Right. I can tell you that the medical examiner has provided this information, which the media is now getting based on our request that had been filed previously, now getting today. The district attorney had that. It was part of the Euless, what's called the homicide book, the case that was built in the investigation. All of that went to the Tarrant County DA first week in April. So they've had these numbers for a while. They've been massaging it. They've been conducting their own investigation, talking to other folks in law enforcement about this incident as they work through this and make their case to present to a grand jury.
Okay, Sean, it's going to take a while still, obviously.
Yes, you go to the grand jury pretty soon now, though.
Okay, all right. Sean Rapp, thanks.
Okay.